Hello, everybody, and welcome into Hurley Field for tonight's District 13 powerhouse matchup. Number 1 ranked Berkeley taking on number 3 Troy Athens High School. You're watching it live on the NFHS network and on our YouTube MSN audio only. We have an 80-minute match, and we will figure out who will go on and take on the Troy High Colts in the district final on Thursday. All of that coming up next, right here live on the Michigan Soccer Network. Welcome you back here into Hurley Field as these two teams lining up and getting ready to take on each other. This will be the second time this season these two teams have met. The first time around, Athens fell in that game. As we will step aside here for the national anthem and announcements right now.
Our members for the Troy Athens Redhawks: number 0, Rasha Khan; number 1, Adam Etheridge; number 2, Mark Ducat; number 3, Luke DiGiovanni; number 4, Jason Bona; number 5, Gavin Farrow; number 6, Dario Kedu; number 7, Adriano Soya; number 8, Luke Rizzo; number 9, Miguel Ramirez; number 10, Nick Ruggiera. Number 11, Sergio Garcia. Number 13, Kevin Miertol. Number 14, Brody Feinstock. Number 15, Nick Rossi. Number 16, J.D. Huffman. Number 17, Griffin LeBay. Number 18, Fairs Abakram. Number 19, Ethan Ram. Number 20, Alex Marine. Number 21, Charlie Check. Number 22, Manny Abigo. Number 23, Daniel Kedu. Number 24, Banish Baxi. Number 5, Joey Menzick. Number 26, Brady Roskelly. Head coach, Ty. And now, for Berkeley Bears, 0, Seth Davidson. 0, Spencer Bradley. 0, Nathan Claudio. 2, Michael Green. 3, Eric Stone. 4, Jackson King. Number 5, Max Sproul. Number 6, Abe Schmeckle. Number 7, Will Knight. Number 8, Zoran Gorchevich. Number 9, Andrew Cook. Number 10, Kai Nielsen. Number 11, Sam Neo. Number 12, August Cumming. Number 13, Case Bishop. Number 14, Brody Kane. Number 15, Gabe Callio. Number 16, Nate Lutzer. Number 17, Beth Peters. Number 18, Owen Danaher. Number 19, Dennis Hayes. Number 20, Ben Sanborn. Number 21, Robert Anatolon. Number 22, Owen Rickard. Head coach, Steve Velosa.
There are the lineups here for both the teams. And Dan, as we talk about this matchup at number 3 versus number 1, we saw this exact same matchup here last year in district semifinals. Berkeley getting the victory over Athens, going on and taking on Troy High in the district final. They fell in that game in a penalty shootout. Troy High went on and lost in the regional semifinals a few days later. So let's talk about this matchup and how big this matchup really is.
Yeah, well, in the pre-districts last week and the district semifinals this week, we've already seen a multitude of upsets across the state. Some top 15 teams, mainly in Division I, have gone down in the early stages. This isn't an upset. This is a clash of the Titans. Berkeley has been in the top 5 all season. They have maintained in the top 10 for 4 straight years. I don't think they've ever fallen below the 10th spot over 4 seasons. They've put up some incredible numbers. Troy Athens was in their rankings the first month. They fell out in honorable mention for a few weeks. They've climbed back in, and they're playing as well as any team in Division I right now. They knocked off Clarkson, formerly ranked number 1 team, 3-0. They beat Oxford 4-0. Oxford was your OA Red champion. They manhandled the Wildcats 2 weeks ago tonight, and they have been playing their best soccer since they won a state championship back in 2019. So we're looking at 2 very good teams that are looking very good, 2 teams that could get to the Final Four, play in that final week, and one of them is going to advance to play Troy on Thursday, and the other one is going to see their season end, but expecting some great things out of this matchup tonight.
And we are officially underway here from Hurley Field as the Athens Redhawks in the all-white kits going left to right on your screen, and the Berkeley Bears going from right to left in the blue and white kits here from Hurley Field. John Turner, Dan Stickrad on the call. We're excited to have you along here on the NFHS network and on audio only on our YouTube channel. As Lemon Pepper in our YouTube is saying, you can't see the game. You cannot see the game. This is only available in video on the NFHS network. You are getting an audio-only stream on our YouTube channel. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, but that's what you will get. You have to head over to the NFHS network in order to watch this game. As the Bears, that's Will Knight losing the ball. Now, ball drops to Andrew Cook. So Daniel Cadu looking up that far side. Oh, good cutback. Ball put in top of 6! And just like that, Athens up 1-0! Want to see who got that.
McGill, Ramirez, Venegas.
So McGill Ramirez got the goal. He was at the top of the 6. That ball came across from Manny Agbedo, and just like that, a minute and a half in, and it's 1-0.
First shot from either side. And Miguel Ramirez is left wide open in the box. Left-hander shot. Just underneath the crossbar.
So Ramirez gets the goal. Agbedo Like Beto, apologize, gets the assist. That goal coming in the 2nd minute.
Berkeley goalkeeper Seth Davison, who we profiled earlier this week on our website, was really left handcuffed on that shot. I mean, Ramirez wide open in the box, and he just uncorked one from about 8 yards out, just underneath the top shelf. Just mentioned moments ago how red hot Troy Athens has been. They have been pummeling opponents here the last 3 weeks of the season. Went from being honorable mention to ranked 3rd in just 3 weeks of time.
The only place you can watch this game is on the NFHS network. The live feed is available there. You have to pay $10.99 subscription to watch the game. You can either watch it on the network or you can listen in here on YouTube. Highlights from this game will be available tomorrow morning. You'd have to go to the NFHS network. We are live streaming there, the video feed, and giving you the audio only here on our YouTube channel. It's the first time we've done that in the history of our productions. But wanted to give those who didn't have a subscription the opportunity to at least listen in and be part of the action.
Yes, the NHSF network is partnered with the MHSAA. They have the sole rights to broadcast games in any sport during the state tournament.
This ball is thrown in by Micah Green. Remember, Berkeley got here with a win last week on Wednesday over Royal Oak. So this is cleared up by Max Spurl.
Berkeley down 1-0 early, but that's only the 7th goal of the season that the Bears have conceded.
Oh, is this brought in by Schnakel, and he dispossessed as this ball cleared up over midfield.
Berkeley has outscored the opposition 60-7 this season. So they're down 1-0, but not out of this contest. Something tells me we won't see the end of the scoring on that goal. It's just a minute and a half into the contest.
Correction on the goal. It was number 9, Miguel Ramirez.
So this ball is played in. Just outside the box, and a one-time shot! My goodness! And just like that, 2-0 here in favor of the Red Hawks. A shot there by Nick Rossi, number 15.
Rossi, 30 yards out in front off the one hop. Absolute laser into the back of the net. We've seen 2 shots, 2 goals by Troy Athens. Like I said just a minute ago, Berkeley gave up 6 goals in the regular season in their tournament opener combined. They've given up 2 goals here in less than 5 minutes. And the Bears need to find a way to stop the bleeding as soon as possible.
So it looks as though Stony Creek beat Utica Eisenhower 5-0. Was the final score of that game. As could do, and now Ramirez, another one, as Seth Davidson will make the first save of the game. His previous 2 shots went right in the back of the net. Not his fault, but he's faced 3 shots, allowed 2. I mean, Dan, that's a big win for a Stony Creek team.
They haven't scored 20 goals all season to come out and score 5 on a once-beaten Utica Eisenhower team. It almost seems surreal.
So Utica Eisenhower's season is over, and Stony Creek will go on to play the winner of the Romeo Rochester Adams game. It's taking place right now. Berkeley got to find a way to answer here off those 2 goals. Troy Athens coming into Berkeley Bear Country and allowing 2 quick goals. So the bright side to this is there's lots of time left in this match for them to come back. And we talk about the most dangerous lead in all of sports happens to be a 2-0 lead. As this one's thrown in, it will kind of deflect off the back blinked. I think that was number 12, August Cumming. It was, and out for a goal kick.
We saw this last year in the regional semifinal. Troy was ranked number 1 in the state. Rochester Adams came out and scored 2 goals. Troy is able to come back, tie it in the second half, up 3-2. Adams got a penalty kick, tied it 3-3 in regulation. Both teams went to a double overtime and then a shootout with Rochester Adams pulling a minor upset, number 8 over number 1. And the Highlanders advance to the Final Four and end up winning the Division I state championship. So this game is far from over.
It was tied up, and that is a foul. And
so Athens scoring on their two of their first 3 shots of this game against a Division I recruit in goal for Berkeley's Seth Davison.
could do. He'll look to fire one from distance, and a touch on that from Davidson, and that's going to go out for a corner. Just like that, another opportunity here from distance. It's almost as if Todd Hugh was like, hey, let's start firing some shots from distance. We saw that in the first game with the Troy High Colts. We saw that with that half volley. We saw from Jack Hotz. He scored his from 30. That was a very similar goal.
Right,
a
one-hopping bounce, a volley from 31 yards out in front of the goal and just an absolute laser in the back of the net.
Ball play its way out to Ramirez. He'll cut back. And this one will go out for a throw-in, as that's Rossi. So now we're going to see J.D. Hutman. J.D. Hutman is a junior defender who will throw this one in for the Redhawks. Throws towards that near post. Oh, a good cutback. And that one put out towards midfield.
So Berkeley beat Troy Athens 2-0 back on September 7th, early in the OA Red season. Athens all over the Bears here early, 2-0. Before the game was even 5 minutes old.
This is Adriana Shoya putting this in towards Ramirez. That one will go past, and Hutman steps into that one, and that's Cook who will look for Dennis Hayes. So Hayes scored a goal against Royal Oak, dispossessed on that counter. And this kind of does not play well, though, into the low 6 tactical style of play. Again, we talked about it in last game, and we didn't get a chance to talk about the opener for this one, but, you know, they like to sit back, does Berkeley. They aren't a team that's going to come at you with an attacking style. They're going to sit back. They're going to let you come at them a little bit. They're going to press when needed. They're going to send multiple defenders to stop promising attacks, and they're going to try to beat you on a counterattack and on set pieces. That's been their mantra since Steve took over the program 14 years ago. So being in a hole does not lead well, or towards the plan that maybe Steve has on his game plan here. But they are still a very, very good team that scored a lot of goals this season, scoring over 57 goals in total prior to tonight's game. So they know how to score goals.
The mental aspect is going to play effect. Berkeley's not used to being down 2-0 in 5 minutes. How they react here, especially over the next 15, 20 minutes. Can they settle down? Can they create a couple of chances, maybe cut into that lead, get a goal? The longer the game goes without Berkeley scoring, and the way Athens has been playing here the last 3 weeks, they have to avoid danger in conceding a third goal here in the first half.
And Sam Neo will put this one up over midfield. And then this one will end up going out over the end line. Talk about a fast start for Troy Athens. You can't ask for a better start if you're Todd Hugh. Todd Hugh in his 13th year at Troy Athens High School, so actually starting back in 2010. But a really good crowd here on hand tonight. I'd argue we're around 1,000 fans. A marquee matchup here between number 1 and number 3 ranked Troy Athens and Berkeley. And Ramirez Now this Andrew Cook. Dispossessed. That's won by Rossi. Rossi, into Ramirez. That one will be won back by the Bears, and sure enough, we're going to see a free kick coming up here for the Redhawks. Ball put back in. That's play ready. Cadu will take a shot, and that one will be blocked and out for a throw-in. Are they going to say it was a corner? I guess it is a corner, so I apologize. So we're going to see Brody Feinstock take this corner. He just took that free kick. A dangerous left foot. That's a great ball into the mix. Right back to Feinstock, and he'll shoot one towards that near post and deflects out for the second corner here in succession. So Feinstock, this one will go long. That's Will Knight that gets a head on it. So makes its way out to Hupman. He'll put this one into the mix and finds its way to Owen Stone. One back by Rossi and the Redhawks. And we'll go out on that far side. Cook plays it here near side. Kai Nielsen. Good cut back from Nielsen. He's double teamed, and he'll make his way up this near side, but runs out of real estate. Shout out to our broadcast team here tonight. Ryan Gagnon on camera. Sam Fisher, our technical producer. Dan Stickred, our analyst, color commentator extraordinaire. Historian of all things soccer in Michigan. I mentioned it before. If you need someone to talk about soccer on the witness stand, he's your guy. I think he charges about $1,300 an hour, though. So
yeah, something like that, right?
This ball will go all the way through traffic, almost finding its way to Dennis Hayes. So Micah Green now on the ball. To go inside, and this one cleared out of danger, at least for the time being. Now Hayes back on the ball. Be looking for Owen Stone, but it goes in the middle of the park, and dispossessed is Cadu, and he'll make his way up, and that's going to be a foul. And we're going to see, I think, a yellow card. And so a yellow card being issued. I think that's going to go to Will Knight, number 7, as he makes his way off the pitch. Good close-up there from our camera operator. A yellow card being issued here in the 15th minute. Feinstock will put this one back in for the Redhawks, who find themselves up 2-0 here.
Into the match for the Redhawks.
Off of the 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of this game, as this ball will make its way to the 18 and head it away. It was Gavin Farrow that was there. And this one will now go out for another corner. And is this their, I think this is their fourth corner.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're going to say goal kick.
Yeah,
okay.
they actually reversed that.
They reversed it. Not because of our VAR, that's for sure. If you hit. This ball cleared up over midfield off that goal kick from Seth Davidson. As Dan mentioned, we wrote an article that was just released here today on our website. talking about his career here at Berkeley, a phenomenal goalkeeper who, if not, is a sure win into a Dream Team. Very darn close to being a Dream Team member this season. He is a phenomenal specimen. This shot from Cadu bounces up, and Seth Davidson showing his range and reflexes from 30 yards away, making the save.
And Seth Davidson is not a prototypical goalkeeper, at least for large schools. Only 5'11", but he does have several Division I and Division II schools in the NCAA courting for his services. He has amazing range, athletic ability. Again, he had 17 shutouts last season. He's helped Berkeley claim 15 more this season. His first 2 years, he was a backup to another All-Stater, Ryan Surwa, but Seth Davidson has been every bit as good as any goalkeeper in the state of Michigan this season. And Athens was able to score those 2 goals tonight. I wouldn't say they were Davidson's fault. They were both absolute cannons. You have seen his range tonight. Undersized, but not, not underrated.
So a free kick coming up here for the Berkeley Bears. And try and keep you updated on the Romeo-Rochester Adams game as this one will be put back in.
You know, according to Twitter, Eisenhower won that game 5-0. I'm trying to confirm this, but
well, on the MHSAA website, it shows,
because it says Eisenhower was up 1-0 with 26 to go, and it says they scored a couple other goals. So,
well, it says 5-0 win here. Right. It says here. It says at Utica Eisenhower. It says 5-0 win. When you go to the Stony Creek site. And it said Stony Creek was the one that on that page was the one that had the 5 goals. So I don't know. You know, I could be wrong.
Yeah, according to Macomb Daily, had a reporter there tonight. Eisenhower definitely won that game. So that is definitely a mystery.
Look, Dan, look, it's right there.
I believe you.
5-0 win. Utica Eisenhower, Stony Creek's website. So you know, or the MHSAA website. Lemon Pepper's asking, do I got to pay to watch it? Like you do. You have to pay $10.99 a month. I think it's $10.99. It could be $9. I think it's $10.99 a month on the NFHS website. So
yeah, that you have access to any game under their
you do. You have
for a school year, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's $10 a month though. You know, it's not a one-time charge. You got to pay $10.99 a month to be part of that network. So yes, you do have to pay Lemon Pepper. So there's a plus and a minus to that, but you do get access to the video feed for this game and
thousands of other really across the state. I mean, you'll be able to watch football, soccer, volleyball, cross country, whatever you would like to see that's on their network.
That's Deliacat, and that one will go out last touch there by Micah Green. You know, if it were up to me, I'd give everybody the free access to this game, but unfortunately I don't have that control. So according to this, though, it is 0-0 at Rochester. Oh, nope. It looks like Adams might have just scored. I don't know. It's hard to see if they're wearing blue or wearing, I don't know.
Number 17.
According to this, Rochester Adams is the away team.
Number 6.
But it looks like they just scored. So it looks like it's 1-0 in favor of Adams.
Local score
just did. Yeah. Rochester Adams just scored, so they're up 1-0 over Romeo.
West Bloomfield beat Wall Lake Central 4-3 in double overtime tonight out in the west side of Oakland County. South Lyon East and Detroit Catholic Central are tied 0-0 at the half in their district matchup. Both of those are Division I districts.
So we'll reach the halfway point of this first half. It's 2-0 here in favor of Athens Redhawks. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of this match. One from Miguel Ramirez, another one from number 15, Nick Rossi, a junior midfielder. And there's your scoring so far in this match.
Yeah, so according to George Poley, sports writer for the Macomb Daily, Utica Eisenhower did defeat Rochester Stony Creek 4-0.
4 or 5?
It says 4 here.
So
I've seen multiple different scores on the artist formerly known as Twitter. Now
that's going to be a foul, and that's going to be a yellow card for sure. So another yellow card. This one issued to number 12 in August Cummings, center back for the Bears. That yellow card coming here in the 22nd minute. And you might ask yourself this question, because a lot of times people are like, "What?" It says 21:03. Well, so be that as it may, is in high school soccer, the clock actually counts down as well as in college soccer as well. But if you go to any of these places, the clock actually counts up at all these college stadiums. It only counts down on maybe the broadcast. We'll talk about this as soon as this free kick is over with. But Andrew Cook is back on for the Bears, as there's a 5-man wall. We might see a 6th enter the wall. And we do. Nope, we don't. There you go, 6-man wall.
Troy Athens is likely going to try to put this right on frame.
And Feinstock will put this one up and wide. But the reason why I bring this up is because you see, what does the timing mean? Well, why aren't you saying 21:11 or 18:56? Well, I think if you were to watch a game and talk with a local news reporter who's putting a piece in on a website or whatnot, they would put the exact time. So 18:44 remaining in the first half is what they would say. But here on our broadcast, we follow the FIFA way. As out comes Seth Davidson, he'll one time clear this up towards middle of the park. So we say the time, and if it says 21:43, you're actually in the 22nd minute. And that's an important thing to recognize. So if you're in the 40th minute plus extra time, which there is no extra time or stoppage time, so to speak, in these games, what you would do instead, you would say 40 plus 3, right? So it would be the 40th minute plus the whatever time that event happened in that minute. So is this one up on that far side? That's Davidson. He'll get this possessed. He'll get it back, though. Look to put this into the box. That was towards Kai Nielsen, and this ball cleared up towards midfield. So good work there from the Bears. Just nothing to show for it here yet in this first half. Almost sounds like we could hear like the vent down below, like in the bathroom.
Right, yeah.
That way. I don't know. I know our sound is not anywhere near that, but there's enough of a crowd here that wouldn't be necessary. But
number 3, Owen Stone.
So Adams has the ball right now. They're pressing towards another opportunity. They're up 1-0 with 23-28 to go in the first half. We have 17 minutes remaining to go here in this first half. Live from Hurley Field is LeBay. 1-on-1 with Andrew Cook. Ball into Delicat. Making around this near side. Luca DiGiovanni. Something about the Red Hawks, which makes them very difficult to beat, especially in these playoff games, is they have personnel that they can go to on their bench. Now, when you put them out there, they do not miss a beat. DiGiovanni is out here on this side. Now, we see Miguel Ramirez out there, right? He started this game, but you now have Mark Delicat, who's out there on the field. And Mark Delicat can give you some really quality moments and create opportunities for this Athens Redhawks team that keep them dangerous.
Yeah, he's had a lot of goals and assists this year at opportune times and in big games. Delicat is a junior, but Troy Athens lacks the superstar, but they have waves of players that can produce all over the field.
All thrown in by Cook. Will make its way to Jackson Kane. That one put back into the box. Rossi tried to clear it one time on his second attempt, clears it up. And that's a good settle there by Delicat. That's misplayed. Now, an opportunity here for Gavin Farrow. He's got August coming all over his back, but that will go out.
So Athens with those 2 quick goals in the first 5 minutes, they still hold a 6-0 advantage with shots. Berkeley unable to get off a shot attempt in this entire match. And 5 of 6 Athens shots have been on frame, and the Redhawks do have a trio of corner kicks behind their 2-0 advantage. So Berkeley still trying to figure out how to break into that final third of the field and create a scoring chance. They're down 2-0 and haven't really had an answer yet for the Redhawks here in the first half.
Reminder, tomorrow morning, both highlights from this game and the game from earlier this evening will be available tomorrow on the Michigan Soccer Network YouTube page. So check that out tomorrow morning. I'm sure Dan will also be writing ferociously this evening about the games here tonight. As this ball played in towards the 18, that Dennis Hayes was right there, and that one finally cleared up. As LeBay loses it, a good win back by the Bears. This one put in towards Owen Stone, who has really been silent so far in this game.
What does good players do? To find a way to get Owen Stone the ball in the final third of the field, let him create. Down to 13:55 here in the first half. Troy Athens did score those first 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of play.
For Athens, number 22, Manny Bedio.
The Redhawks defensively have been great so far in this match.
Jackson Kane.
That they have is showing again that what we talked about and what I've said here throughout much of this evening is the way that Todd Hugh approaches the game is very different than what a lot of coaches might do when they approach a team or a situation like this. And again, they're not afraid to let teams come at them. They're not afraid to be patient in their attack. You've seen them on that goal, that second one from Rossi, that half volley, that just beautiful strike. You know, they're take advantage of an opportunity. Just take a look and take a chance, right? And don't be afraid to fire one. We've seen that time and time again from this Athens Redhawks team over the years, and it's proved to be quite successful. So a throw-in coming up here for the Bears. And Andrew Cook, another long throw-in coming. This one thrown in. That one will make its way towards that back post. That's Micah Green right there. And now this will make its way out to Jackson Kane. That one knocked out.
Berkeley has started to pick up the pace a little bit here with 12:06 left. Trying to find a way to get some shots off and cut it into this 2-0 deficit. Troy Athens came out on fire, scoring those 2 goals early. Berkeley has yet to kind of solve the Athens Rubik's Cube, so to speak. They need to find a way to break through that back 4 and test Athens goalkeeper Adam Etheridge.
And, you know, based on how this game started, right, it even plays more into Todd Hughes' mentality, which, you know, again, looking at, they don't have to get forward as much anymore. They can play this game completely different when they're up 2-0 than when if they were it's equal or a 1-0 lead. You've given yourself some room. It's not enough. You still have a long way to go. You still have, you know, 50-plus minutes to bring this one home. But you don't have to get forward. You can have numbers back, like what you're seeing right now. You're seeing this. You see this midfield kind of hanging back. You got 2 holding mids, you know, in Rossi and Daniel Cadu, who are holding back right now, and that really is creating some compactness and keeping this field narrow in the attacking third for the Bears, which forces them to have to do things that maybe they're not comfortable doing.
Not playing for Athens.
Now Rossi's going to step off, and you're going to see number 8 step on, and Luke Izzo. Also allows you to bring in and rotate players, too, because you have the ability to do that.
And Troy Athens reminds me a lot like last season when he had the likes of Troy and Detroit Catholic Central that could go so far deep into their bench, you know, without skipping a beat, really. So Troy Athens is a similar team with that style of play where, you know, you carry 20-plus guys in your roster, and sometimes you can go very deep into that bench, still get production out of players.
Settled down there by Cadu. This will rotate. Van Spaxy. Ball up top towards LeBay. Like Beto was right there, and that one will be called a foul. It's one of those things too, Dan. I think if you were to ask, you know, if you were to ask 10 coaches and across the state, you know, who has the edge here tonight? It's a very odd predicament to ask that question. You know, I actually think a lot of coaches would say Athens just based on the way they played the last number of weeks, and they're ranked number 3. Berkeley's ranked number 1. How many times would you give an edge to a team that is ranked lower than you, even if it's only a couple of spots? You think about that, right? Think about how many times we see this at all different levels of sports where a team might be ranked higher and they're actually maybe considered the underdog in that game. Is that a fair thing to ask in a moment like this? I mean, I'm not saying that Berkeley is not a quality team, but I think coming into this, we even looked at it from our predictions that we thought that Athens was going to win this district. They're the underdog in this game. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, in a way, because Athens, we talked about in the pregame, they're as hot as any team in the state right now. I mean, not just Division I, but all 4 divisions combined. The numbers they've put up the last 3 weeks, they've knocked off a lot of great opponents. And you saw the way they came out into this game. They scored goals on their first 2 shots. They had 3 shots in the first 5 minutes. They're up 2-1. Now the game settled down a little bit. Both teams kind of trading possession a little bit, but Athens has been, you know, we haven't talked about it much because they had that early lead, but their defense has been stout in this contest. They have not given up a shot attempt in this whole game.
He is going to point, I think, to the penalty spot as LeBay went down. And I think he pointed to the spot. If that's it is. He is pointing to the penalty spot. And this right here, I mean, becomes an ever important moment here for the Bears. And Seth Davidson is, they're calling over the referee because he didn't stop the clock. That's obviously the moment here. So the clock has to come to a stop. I mean, we're a good 30 seconds went off there. It looks as though Mark Delicat will take this kick, the junior midfielder. Seth Davidson is on his line. If there's ever a goalkeeper in Division I right now that has the ability to put this game on his shoulders, it's Seth Davidson. A monumental moment for him right now. Because going up 3-0 could be very, in fact, and we've seen some crazy things, Dan, but that could be the nail in the coffin in a game like this.
Especially because Berkeley is you have to attempt a single shot on the Red Hawks defense.
But if Seth Davidson can get this ball, that would send them, I think, into a win here later in this game. Referee blows his whistle, and Delicat puts it up top and gives the Red Hawks a 3-0 lead.
Athens goal by number 2, Mark Delicat.
You can't ask for a better start to a game, Dan. Yeah, and Berkeley had given up 3 goals all season in 21 matches. They were 18-1-2 coming in this match. They've given up 6 goals. They've given up 3 here tonight in the first half. 2 on some lasers from a distance and a penalty kick goal. And that's coming against one of the best goalkeepers in the entire state of Michigan. So Berkeley has a lot of work to do, not in terms of, trying to get back in this match. They have to first figure out a way to break down Athens' defense.
And again, you're seeing it here. You're seeing, Cadu is playing the holding midfielder role here for the Redhawks. A little shove there from DiGiovanni. Playing a holding mid. His role is to cover Owen Stone. And so far,
Troy Athens has done well. They knocked off Clarkston, who was #1 in the state for over half the regular season. Still in the top 10. Beat them 3-0. 2.5 weeks ago, they beat Oxford. Another team that's been ranked in the top 10 all season. They beat them 4-0. Even though Oxford ended up backing into the OA Red Championship 5-2, they had 15 points. So they won the league. Berkeley second, Troy Athens third. Then you had Troy and Rochester Adams tie Clarkston was fourth, and Clarkston and Troy were tied for fifth. But Athens is not just beating teams; they're beating quality teams, and they are putting up some serious numbers.
well, yeah, you mentioned it. The game against Oxford, the game against Clarkston. When you start talking about putting the numbers up against these quality teams that themselves have railroaded other teams this season, it tells you what you're seeing from these teams. And who scored the third goal? The third goal was scored by #2, Mark Deliacat. Goal coming on a penalty shot here in the 33rd minute with 6:05 to play here in half number 1. But if you were to ask me what I predicted the score to be, I would not be thinking 3-0 right now. I would have been 0-0, 1-0. And there's still a lot of soccer left, and Steve Volosik is one of the best in the biz. He will, I'm sure, bring his team in at halftime and have that conversation. And the flag will go up, and that one, a foul against the Red Hawks. You know what? You're not chasing 3, you're chasing 1. All right, so I'll tell you, I was in a game very similar to this many years ago. It's my first year at Groves. My second year at Groves. We were down 3-0 in the final league match of the season to a Farmington team that was at that time was a pretty good team in the blue, and we were down 3-0 at halftime. It was senior night, Dan, so I had no choice but to play seniors because it's senior night, right? You got to get out your seniors. It's their last game. We find ourselves in a hole, 3-0. I told the guys at halftime, you got to chase 1. You're not chasing 3. You just go find a goal. Go get a goal.
Sure.
Prevent them from scoring, because that 4th goal, that was going to decide who wins this game. We found a way to score 3 goals in that game. We backed into winning the league by time. We only needed a point to win that league, and we were able to find a way to get that tie. We tied 3-3, and we moved ourselves up from the blue and into the white. So it can be done. You just have to have that mindset that you've got to go out there, and you're not chasing 3. You're chasing 1. Go get your first. Once that first happens, man, this game can change so dramatically.
Things can happen. A turn of a switch. I remember back in the early 1990s, I believe it was 1992, Brighton held a 3-0 advantage over Warren De La Salle in the state semifinal. De La Salle came back in the second half, scored 4 times, and won that game 4-3. Those are 2 very good teams, a lot of future college players on the rosters, but you can never count anyone out that has quality players and has had a quality season. Anything can happen. 1 goal can completely switch the momentum in the game of soccer. Athens has had all the momentum so far. They're up 3-0. 7-0 shots advantage in this contest. There's 3:30 left.
Defining a question coming in is what's happening to Berkeley. It's not what's happening to Berkeley. It's that Troy Athens has come in here, and they are just taking care of business, and that's the sign of a really good team. And you know what? If you can go out and just take care of business night in, night out, especially in a playoff run like this, you got to win 7 games. Athens has to win 7 games to hoist a trophy. Any one of these teams, Berkeley would have to win 7 games. That is a tall order. I don't care what high school you go to win 7 games unbeaten is one of the single hardest things you can do at the high school level. That's the reality. And you're asking.
Yeah, and it's more than just that. Certain teams have to run a gauntlet. I mean, sometimes to win those 7 games and win a state championship, you might have to go through 5 teams that are ranked and another school that's honorable mention in the rankings heading in the tournament. You don't have an easy night off. Even in your pre-district game, you might play a team that's above 500, has some quality players, having a decent season, and then you have to win a district semi and a district final against a ranked team. You go in the regional semis, regional finals, some more ranked teams, and then semis and finals and so on. But, yeah, it can be done. Teams do it almost every year. I mean, there's rarely a school that you can say, wow, they had an easy path to the Final Four. It just doesn't happen.
No, obviously, if you get a first-round bye, that means you only have to have 6. This ball's played in, and Etheridge is right there for Athens. He has had a very uneventful night. And if you're a goalkeeper, that is something that you look forward to. Well, I didn't. I was kind of crazy. I didn't mind the shots. But I know that a lot of goalkeepers probably don't mind being a little bored. It means their team is doing their job, keeping the ball in front of them, and preventing them from creating opportunities that could lead to goals. So Cook finds Kai Nielsen, and Nielsen and Cadu. Nielsen wins it back. That's good work from Nielsen. So no more physicality now here in these last couple moments from the Bears.
Yeah, they need to hustle more to the ball. They've let Athens intercept some passes, win 50-50 balls. Berkeley has not been the aggressor so far here in the first 39 minutes of play.
So you see the ball played out, and that one will go out over touch. We're watching this live right now on the NFHS network with
Last minute of play in the first
1
half.
minute to go here in half number 1. Last year, Rochester Adams won 2-0 over Rockford on the east side of the state. Sorry, west side of the state. That was their first championship since 1999.
We watched the Division II championships over at Novi, where Richland Gull Lake beat Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook Kingsville 1-0. The game-winning goal, Erica Corstains, one of your Mr. Soccer candidates, scored in the first minute of that game. Gull Lake dominated all 80 minutes. They hardly conceded a shot. They were all over that game. They couldn't convert again. Cranbrook did have a very good goalie and some very good players on the field, but Gull Lake was, they've been as hot a team as any in the last 6 years. If they get to the Final Four, this season will be the 5th time in 6 years they've been able to make that type of a run.
5,
Ball settled down by Aguadeo, and
2, 1.
And Dan, that is the end of the first half. What are your thoughts here before we head to break?
Troy Athens came out on fire. They did what they had to do. They scored a couple very beautiful goals. Kind of had Berkeley on their heels. They were able to add a late penalty kick goal with 7:22 left in the first half. But defensively, Jonathan, the Red Hawks defense has been superb. They have not conceded even a single shot attempt. They have not given up a corner kick. And their goalkeeper has yet to make a save. And Troy Athens is in a very great position right now. They are on fire, playing as good as anybody in the state here the last 3 weeks, and they're playing like a team that's on a mission.
That's right. You heard it there from Dan. The Athens Red Hawks are firing on all cylinders, and they have 40 minutes. 40 minutes to go. And they will come away here with a win and a chance to play in the district final. So your halftime score here, Troy Athens Red Hawks 3, the Berkeley Bears 0. 40 minutes left to decide who moves on and who doesn't. You're watching it all live on the NFHS Network and on YouTube. We'll be back after this. And welcome back here into Hurley Field as we are about to start the second half of this District 13 MHSAA Boys Soccer District Semifinal. Melissa Klein saying Eisenhower won 5-0. Stony didn't win. Yeah. Hey, we hear you loud and clear, but the MHSAA website, unless they just changed it, said 5-0 win in favor of Stony. So it still says that. So I think there needs to be a complaint filed with the MHSAA. I think court rulings and injunctions need to take place.
I mean, even Macomb Daily was covering the game. They said the final was 4-0 Eisenhower. So
yeah, so
Eisenhower won, but I was surprised because Stony Creek the last 2 years has struggled to simply score goals. And I was like, I don't think they scored 5 against Utica Eisenhower.
We are back underway here from Hurley Field. Its second half action is the Berkeley Bears, number 1 ranked Berkeley Bears, taking on the Troy Athens Redhawks, and we are 40 minutes away from seeing who will go on and to take on Troy High in the district final this Thursday night, right back here at Berkeley at 7 o'clock Eastern. We are live right now on the NFHS network as well as audio-only stream for the first time in our history on YouTube. The reason we're doing that is because we are doing an audio-only stream of all 4 state finals from Grand Ledge on November 4th. So that is why we're doing that. But Athens now making their way up here once again. Is this one in that corner? That's a great move. Slotted into the 18 and makes its way through the 6th and into the hands of Seth Davidson. But I couldn't agree with you more, Melissa, that Eisenhower did in fact win. But we were told, and we are led to believe by the MHSAA website, that Stony Creek won that. It was a surprising score, but it showed 1-0 for the longest time, and then I obviously in the last couple minutes that game, the wheels fell off the bus in that one. Right now, it looks as though maybe Rochester Adams and Eisenhower will meet for the second consecutive year in a district final. Last year, Rochester Adams beat Eisenhower, I believe, in that district final, right, Dan?
Yeah, I was at that game. I was at Rochester High. It was actually a Saturday afternoon game.
Yep, I was at Oakland.
And yes, and that's when I knew Adams had kind of jacked up a notch. They came out, I believe they were up 5-0 at one point. They believe they won 5-1, and they were just all over, swarms over the their run to the Division I state championship. So Adams is a lot better than their 10-1, their 10-7-1 record. Indicates they did have some injury issues. Jackson Kraft is a Division I recruit. He was an All-State Dream Team player last year as a junior. He missed like 4 or 5 games. A couple other guys missed even longer. Getting their players back at the right time. So the Highlanders can hold on here against Romeo. Romeo's 15-2-2, their best record they've had in their school history. Could be at a all Eisenhower Rochester Adams rematch of a year ago.
Ball cleared up by Davidson over midfield. Dennis Hayes now on this near side. There's Will Knight making an overlapping run. Played in towards Stone, and Nielsen just overruns it. Seeing a little more penetrating passes here now from the Bears to start the second half. Still nothing to show for it as the Athens Redhawks player goes down on that far side. Taking a tighter look at that. Number 7, that is Adriana Shoya.
So over the last couple of weeks on our Michigan Soccer Network website, we've been profiling with some feature stories, and some of the better players in the state of Michigan, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of the tournament as we get into the later stages. Some good players that are still left. We will talk to them and their coaches about their season and career.
Oh, look at this, a giveaway. Oh, Davidson comes down, he gets a touch. Oh, that another great defensive play by August Cummings. A defensive miscue as this ball played up over the top. Excuse me. Looking for Deliacat. So is some excitement there. Davidson came out, sliding out just right at the top of the 18 and made a huge save. This one cleared up by Feinstock over midfield and out. Bears have got to find a way to get something in here now. I'll give them some confidence. As this falls to Hayes, will take a left-footed shot. And that one goes way wide, but
first shot attempt of the game for the Berkeley Bears, coming with 34-24 left in this contest. So Bears still trying to solve that riddle. Triathletes defense has been every bit as stout as you can get against one of the best teams in the state, not just this year, but the last few years.
It's a good settle down there by Ramirez. You see Ramirez now playing more on the outside in this moment. Is Liquideo.
You know, Berkeley actually won a district championship 3 years ago, back in 2020. But they got to the regional semifinals, lost 3-1 to, Detroit Catholic Central out of Novi, which went on to win the Division I state championship. Catholic Central is going through a slight rebuilding mode this year, but they're another program that's been awfully good here the last decade.
So a corner kick coming up here for the Red Hawks. Not quite sure who's taking this one. This one put in towards that back post. Almost saw an Olympico. As that one went just past that far post.
Looked like it was Mark Delicat that took that corner and tried to bend it in like Beckham. Not quite enough.
As Dan just put a mouthful of Buddy Buddies in his mouth. It's okay, because I've been battling the Snicker urge here the last couple moments. And I actually had to step on. No more Snickers there, Sam Fisher. It was a good try. Gotta get the hot dog / candy conversation going in our broadcast. What do you think of those buddies, though? Man, do you like them?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
They're it's powdery goodness. It's like Chex Mix on sugar. It's exactly what they are. But we ask this question quite a bit on the network: what your favorite snack is? In our comments, let us know what you're eating right now while watching or listening into this game. Usually you can't watch something or do something like this and not have something like that, eating something, drinking something. August Cummings is foul there called. We're back at this again on Thursday. I had the Friday night off, Dan, which is going to be fun. And then Saturday, I'm back out at Oakland as they take on Milwaukee. They are currently sitting in 5th in the Horizon League, the Golden Grizzlies. With a win, I do believe, look at this, this will be cleared out for a corner. So here's an opportunity for the Bears. But they are sitting in 5th place, and with a win over Milwaukee, a tie, Milwaukee basically secures their spot in the Horizon League tournament with the top six go on. That'd be huge for the Golden Grizzlies, who are an extremely young side this season.
Yeah, the women's side has 9 freshmen on their roster. I mean, they are extremely young.
They just come off a tie on Sunday, a 0-0 tie against the Green Bay Phoenix.
Berkeley had their first corner kick and did not create anything off that chance, which have been few and far between for the Bears. They need to find a way to consistently keep up the pressure. But when you're down 3-0 against a fellow top 5 team in the state, when you have a corner, you got to get something out of it, at least put something on frame, get a deflection. Athens is too well-rounded, too deep.
Oh, that's great defensive work there from Manny Agudelo. One back, Delicat. Oh, Delicat spins out of that, spins out of another one. Ball's out wide on that far side. That was Shoya. So now Daniel Cadu. Play it to Rossi. Rossi had a goal here earlier this game, scored the second one. It was a beautiful one. A shot from 30-plus yards out on a half volley. Cadu puts us inside. That's to Ramirez with a good ball. And Shoya will draw the corner. But if you look at this right now, Dan, see there's 5 players back for the Redhawks. They are not pushing numbers forward. They do not need to do that. They've been doing that since really the 5th minute. They've been attacking with 5, maybe 6 players at the most, but have been defending very, very well. They have been being very careful about transitional play. This one being brought back in. This was Feinstock. They'll play this one near post and cleared up by Andrew Cook. Now Dennis Hayes on the ball for the Bears. But one back by the Redhawks, and that's Feinstock. He'll take a ball towards Seth Davidson, and he'll come up with it. Nothing much there.
Brody Feinstock has been one of Troy Athens' most improved players. He kind of took over that defensive role vacated when Ben Maher graduated last spring. Maher Blues a 3rd-team All-State in Division I, and Feinstock is, even though he's listed as a center back, he pushes up in the attack. He takes some of the restarts. He's a very dangerous player coming out of the back.
Once again, the Redhawks win the ball in the defensive third, forcing the Bears to have to regroup.
Number 5,
I mean, with 28 minutes to go, it is a hole that can still be dug out of if you're the Bears. They've got to find a way here in the next 5 minutes, Dan, or this game is going to be extremely difficult. It already is monumental. Yeah, I'm not saying it can't be done. I have seen crazier things on a soccer field.
Berkeley's had one corner kick. They had one shot attempt that was wide of the goalpost. Here,
look at this. That's Dario Cadu, number 6, getting his first minutes here in this game.
They got to find a way to get Owen Stone involved in this attack.
That's Will Knight. Owen Stone has been man-marked all night. That back line of the Redhawks, it's a rotation of marking Owen Stone. There's one out wide to Spurl, and he's met by contact from Feinstock, and they're not going to call it a foul. It's a throw-in.
Yeah, Troy Athens defense also completely bottleneck. You know, Kyle Nielsen, one of Berkeley's top goal scorers this season. Berkeley has a lot of players that have produced some quality numbers throughout the last 2 months, but Berkeley has had a hard time just generating anything.
Ball inside the box, a scrum, the ball then cleared away. And now here comes
Redhawks have numbers.
Look, they got a lot of numbers. It's 3-on-1 right now as this ball played out wide to Shoya. That ball, though, gave the Bears a chance to get back. They've still got Gavin Farrow here. That's a bad first touch, and that one will roll out. So, again, that the Redhawks get one, any goal here in the next couple minutes, this game would be over. Well, that's now Cadu. Cadu from 30-some yards out! 4-0! Seth Davidson was I wouldn't say he was caught out, but a shot from 30-some yards out again. Daniel Cadu with 26 minutes remaining, giving the Red Hawks a 4-0 lead. And without really spelling it out, punched their ticket into the district final on Thursday.
Athens is like a out-of-control train at this stage of the season. They are not just beating top 15 teams. They are putting up some serious numbers against one of the best goalies in the state. They've scored 4 goals in 54 minutes, and they're playing well all over the field.
Foul there called as you see August coming. Got to be careful. Don't want to see things get out of control.
We saw the Red Hawks do this to top 10 Oxford 2 weeks ago in the OA Red finale. Beat them 4-0. They beat Clarkston, who spent over half the season ranked #1. They beat the Wolves 3-0 here 2.5 weeks ago. And Berkeley has simply not had an answer for the Red Hawks. They're deploying an arsenal of players. They're rotating. Their defense has been absolutely stout, locking down on all of Berkeley's top offensive threats. And Adam Etheridge, you have to even have to record a save in this game.
They are warming up Sean Kahn on that far side, so we're going to see him come in here in a moment. And why not? This is an important experience for him. He'll be the goalkeeper next year, at least in that conversation for the Red Hawks. Delia Cat down by the end line. We'll slot this one inside the 18 into the 6. Luke DiGiovanni got a touch, but not enough on that to get it past Seth Davidson. 4th goal was scored by number 23, Daniel Cadu. Goal being scored in the 55th minute. Now Delia Cat back on the ball. Will Knight comes in and takes down Delia Cat. Will Knight already on a yellow card here tonight. Got to be careful. You're down 4-0, don't want to go down a man. That makes it even more monumental. But a free kick coming up here for Brody Feinstock and the Red Hawks. It's not a scoreline, Dan, that I would have picked.
No, I figured this was going to be a classic one-goal game, but the way Athens is playing, it looks like they are going in advance unless Berkeley can find a way to, mount a monumental comeback.
Ooh, that hit off the wall.
But I would hate to be
anyone that's going to play them
in a path of a F5 tornado that's getting stronger by the week. I mean, Athens, you just look at their numbers, how it's increased slowly over the season, and they've been pummeling teams as of late.
They're playing with a chip on their shoulder,
Yes,
Dan.
they lost 2-0 to Berkeley back on September 7th in a league match. That's just 5 weeks ago. Athens is getting better and better. And they don't have a star. They don't have someone who's going to walk out and say, we have to man-mark this player because he has 26 goals and 10 assists. They have a lot of guys collecting goals and assists. Their defense is getting stronger. They have a Division I goalkeeper between the pipes who hasn't even really had to touch the ball yet tonight. So Athens is looking every bit of a part of a team that is going to make a serious threat to reach the Final Four, and they have playing as good as soccer as they had since they won it in 2019.
I mean, they're playing composed. They look, like I said, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. You can just kind of see this confidence about them as they play this game. They've never at any point in time really changed their tactical style of play. They are playing well together. There's this energy and enthusiasm as you see Rashawn Khan coming in now. So you're right. You're right, Dan. I mean, you don't know. I mean, to face this team, I mean, we saw them play Troy High here a few weeks ago, or the first part of the season. They won that game 3-1. It was shortened.
But they dominated.
They did.
That first 54 minutes before that game was called. They dominated. They had control of the game. They were peppering Troy with goals. And Troy's not the same team as they were back in August. They graduated 16 players, 9 starters, a lot of their bench. So Troy's gotten a lot better. I mean, 6 of Troy's 10 wins have come here in the last month. They had 4 wins back closer to the end of September.
That's right.
However, Athens is playing as good as any team in the state. Is still putting on their jerseys.
And with the way the parity of this playoffs has gone, you know, some of the tougher teams that you were going to be thinking that they might be playing, or a team coming out of this district, have kind of fallen to the wayside. You know, because again, you know, the winner of this district is going to take on the winner of the Adams district. Right? We already know that. And if Eisenhower already secured their spot in the district final, and then they're going to play against the winner of this Romeo-Rochester-Adams game, which right now it's 1-0 still in favor of Adams. That is in the second half with 33 minutes to go. You have to look at this and say, you know, whoever wins that game, and we talked about it last year, whoever wins that game next Tuesday night, the winner of this district and the winner of that district, is going to have a very, very, very strong chance of making it all the way to a state final. The same thing we talked about last year. And it is looking that way even more clear right now in this moment. But, you know, we've seen some crazy stuff happen already here so far this fall, Dan, in these playoffs. And it would not shock me if we saw previously unranked, unknown, unreally thought about, afterthought Utica Ford make their way all the way there now. I mean, like... Yeah. You know, they just beat, you know, Anchor Bay last night. Sterling Heights Stevenson beat Fraser. And those two teams are going to see, one of those two teams are going to see each other in a regional semifinal here next week.
You know, in Clinton Township with Chippewa Valley's in the district final, no surprise. They're a senior-laden team. They've been pretty competitive all season, but...
Oh, it's Kahn, and that one's going to go in. So right off the corner kick, the first opportunity of the night for Kahn. And that one hits off the crossbar. I don't know if anyone touched it, but the kicker themselves, I think Dennis Hayes, is going to get the credit, but now it's 4-1.
Now it looked like number 4, Jackson Kane, took the corner kick.
I don't.
Number 5, Max Spurl.
So
and number 14,
maybe there was a touch there in the box.
Who they giving the credit to who?
They gave it to Max Spurl. So Kane took the corner kick. Max Spurl with the goal. He must have touched it on the goal line.
So I was just asked by the announcer who scored the goal. I think they were saying substitutions were Max Spurl. So
okay.
Again, we don't know that 100% for certain. It looked as though, based on what we saw, that Dennis Hayes got a touch, just a scrum inside the box off the corner kick. It happened quite quick. The ball given away, and now here comes a counterattack. It's now Owen Stone. Owen Stone, and this one will be cleared away into the bleachers. I mean, 4-1. And of course, what I didn't do is I didn't start the clock. Jeez, oh Pete.
You're having an off night, John. I think you're going to get ousted from the state tournament.
I think you're right, man. I didn't. Oh my goodness. So, but either way, is a shot. That one went up and over. So some shots coming in now.
Slight momentum shift here. I mean, Berkeley's down 4-1 with 17:50 to go.
Rochester Adams, by the way, is now up 2-0.
Josh Sickey, another one of the coaches that has developed into one of the better coaches in the state of Michigan. He took over that program back in the summer of 2009. He's already been to 4 Final Fours in Division I. He's got a state championship and a state runner-up back in 2014.
Owen Stone. You see a little bit of momentum here now as Max Spurl on the ball. He'll put this one back post, and Kahn makes the save. If he doesn't make that, that one's earmarked for the side netting. You can see the look on his face like, oh, my goodness.
Yep.
If they score a goal there, Dan, I don't know what happens next.
Yeah, I think if Berkeley scores in the next couple of minutes, they might put Etheridge back in goal because he's a Division I college goalkeeper, 6'4", and it's nothing against Con, but Berkeley was ranked number 1 here the last couple of weeks for a reason.
Ball played in towards Nielsen. That one, good defensive work there from J.D. Hupman. This ball goes out. Someone's asking, can you all live stream the Utica Ford versus Chippewa game tomorrow? I mean, we could do an audio only because that wouldn't require a camera operator. I guess we could do that if that's what you're asking. Unfortunately, I don't know if I have a camera operator available tomorrow night. I was kind of looking forward to having the night off.
Match for the Athens, number 22, Manny Bago.
It's a great question. If you want an audio-only stream, I would be willing to come out and do that. That's not difficult. The reality is, where's that game? Is that where's that at? I'm not even sure where that game's at tomorrow. Who's hosting districts for that? Chippewa Valley. Is that Anchor Bay?
Or is it at Chippewa Valley?
It's at Anchor Bay. I think it's Anchor Bay.
Anchor Bay.
I think Anchor Bay hosted this year. So that's like a 5-hour drive for me. Sam, are you available tomorrow night? Is this ball put in? Are you available tomorrow night, Sam? Sam is not available, so there you go. It's a no. Sorry, Sam. Yeah, it's at Anchor Bay. We got a great relationship with Anchor Bay. I could always make a phone call, but it would not. To pull off a camera operator, that'd be difficult. Just when the flex out last touch there by. I'm not quite sure. That might have been
number 6, Abe Schneckel.
Alex Marine. I'm not quite sure, but we could do an audio only. That could definitely happen. So. That was actually LeBay, the ball went off. Griffin LeBay, the senior forward for the Red Hawks, who are up 4-1 here with 15 minutes to go in this game.
And we'll be personally heading out to the Oxford-Clarkston District Championship tomorrow night. A pair of top 10 teams in the Wildcats and the Wolves.
That's right. It's in Oxford, isn't it?
I believe so, yep. Oxford.
Now that's a game that'd be worth going.
Yeah, Oxford beat Clarkston 2-1 here about a month ago. That was Clarkston's first loss. Clarkston went through a little rut for 2 weeks, had a couple losses and a tie, but they've kind of regrouped. They had a very tough matchup last night. They beat Saginaw Valley League champion Grand Blanc 1-0. Clarkston and Grand Blanc have faced quite a few times here in the last 10 or 12 years in the state tournament. Clarkston beat Grand Blanc 2-1, came back from 1-0 deficit in a district final last year to knock out the Bobcats. So
what we should do is be like, hey, Ryan Gagnon, your camera operator, give us a thumbs up if you're available tomorrow night, a thumbs down on the camera, right in front of the camera if you are not available tomorrow night, because that's a camera operator that we could utilize for tomorrow night's game. We know he's tuning in. We know he's listening. So if we see a hand come across your screen, we know he heard the message. And I'm giving you authorization to put your hand in front of the camera with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Oh, this one almost giving right back. So maybe doing a stoppage, like the next stoppage. But it's Cook. We'll play this. Oh, that's a thumb down. That's a down thumb. Well, there it is. Sometimes we need a little more notice.
our camera operator, just like a lot of people in attendance tonight and throughout the state, he does have athletes himself that compete.
I just think he wants the night off. I think he's being selfish like I'm being. I want the night off. I mean, we travel across all over the state of Michigan. We broadcast a lot of games, and sometimes you just need a breather. And if we can't do for us, the value in covering a game too, especially at this level and this part of the tournament, is getting the highlight videos for tomorrow, right? So if I can't get a camera operator to get the highlight videos, then for us, while these audio things are great, I can't turn it into highlights. And that would be the only factor in that is This ball is played into the box, that right at Kahn, and 12 minutes to go here in this game.
So time is running out on number 1 Berkeley. They're down 4-1, 11:57 left. They did a little bit of momentum switch. They had a couple shots in the corner. They were able to convert on one of them. Things have kind of settled down here in the middle of the park. Both teams just kind of trading off the ball and not a lot happening here in the last 5 minutes. Athens is comfortable with a 3-goal lead. The way their defense has been playing overall here in the last 3 weeks of the season.
For the record, we were just told that we're not allowed to have days off.
Entering the field now for Troy Athens.
What's a
number
day
7.
off? Someone said no days off. I think that's rude. Personally,
It's that time of year. Soccer districts are going on. Girls golf, boys tennis finish up this weekend. High school football playoffs will start here in about a week and a half. Cross country regionals are next week. Exciting time of year if you're a high school sports fan across the state of Michigan.
that's right.
You can get your fill if you follow high school sports. It's a great time of year here, in late October, then into early November.
Kind of surprising to me. I don't know if I see anyone, and normally we would see someone from the MI Prep Zone. This is the kind of game that you would think that would have that level of I don't know, importance from the local press.
You know, MLive has a reporter here, Detroit News as well. I don't know. I have not seen anybody from the Oakland Press here as of yet. Unless someone's hanging out in the other end of the press box or down on the field.
Ball goes out wide on that far side.
And this is about as big as a game as you'll find in the state of Michigan tonight, all 4 divisions combined.
This ball brought up by Nielsen. Well, that might be a foul. It is. I don't think I even heard a whistle.
So inside 10 minutes, Troy Athens still up 4-1 over Berkeley. It's great
Ball
position.
played in. Look at this, and that one's cleared up now towards Deliacat. One back by Andrew Cook. That's Owen Stone. I apologize.
Stone has the ball on the left side, and Troy Athens is like a swarm of bees. They had 3 guys on him. Stone's looking to make a pass into the box, and absolutely no daylight. Troy Athens defense is clamping down on the open space and not allowing the Bears to do what they've done here the last few years, which has put up some big numbers.
Again, last year, Athens was sent packing in the second round, losing that game, and Berkeley went on to the district final where they fell in a penalty shootout to Troy High.
Troy won that game 2-1. It's a classic matchup with top 5 teams.
And with redemption and revenge on their mind, Athens coming in here on their, remember keeping in mind where this game took place last year. It took place at Athens High School. So Athens was sent packing at home in a district semifinal. This year at Berkeley, Athens' intentions to send Berkeley home packing are top of mind. And it started from the opening whistle as we saw a goal coming in the second minute. Miguel Ramirez assisted from Manny Agvedetto. Then a streamer from 30-some yards out, a half volley from Nick Rossi. A PK from Mark Deliacat. His corner kick comes in ahead, and that one finds his way into the back of the net. Brody Feinstock. And that is the nail in the coffin.
Athens scored by number 14, Brody Feinstock.
Perfect bending corner kick by Gerano Shoya. Right in about the 6-yard line. Brody Feinstock heads her home, and that's 7:49 left. Athens is up 5-1. Berkeley had given up 6 goals all season, but the bottom finally came out. Athens has been able to put up 5 goals on the number 1 team in the state, and they have looked good doing it.
5 goals. You saw 3 goals in the first half. Saw 2 here so far in the second half. 6 total goals in this one. We saw 5 in the first one, so 11 goals here tonight between both games. The Red Hawks will take on Troy High in a crosstown rivalry match live here on Thursday night. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll bring you that coverage not only on the NFHS network, we'll also bring it to you live, audio only, here on YouTube.
Can't imagine how many times in the 43 years that Troy and Troy Athens have had varsity soccer programs they have faced off in postseason play. Athens is playing as good as anybody in the state. Troy has come a long way since the beginning of the season after graduating 16 players from a team that was ranked either second or first the whole season.
And Dan, this is going to spark a conversation that me and you've been having for some time now, and I know every soccer high school fan in the state, is this a shot turned? I believe that was number 10, lose your eye. But the conversation about how districts have to change. You know, okay, 20 years ago, you get it, right? You know, there's a reason why. Right now, with the way things are going with the MPR, the MHSAA, the Coaches Association, and all the people involved, they need to come together and find a solution so that these teams here do not play each other in the second round of districts. Like that's what's got to happen. That's the long-term play here. We can talk about this all day long, but these two teams should not be seeing each other in the second round of districts or in the first round of districts.
Right.
You know, if they're going to go tomorrow and change this to where, you know, it's only the top 32 teams across the state that play, then so be it. Treat it like March Madness. Take 64 teams, make them the best teams, and then they play. Or you have the teams that are the weaker side, you seed the crap out of it, and make sure the weaker teams play each other. They find their way out, and then the good teams are there to survive. I think
it's more than that, John. I think it's more like, especially like in Detroit area, Grand Rapids area, where there's a lot of schools in close proximity. They have some districts you look at year in, year out, it's like, wow, there's 7 teams in this district. All 7 are above 500. 5 have been ranked this year. 10 miles over, you have a district with 7 schools. 5 are under 500, and only 1 has been ranked. And it's unbalanced district alignments, and it's been going on for 40-plus years.
It doesn't happen in football. It doesn't happen in hockey. It doesn't happen in other sports. Why does it have to happen in soccer? You know, and again, I mentioned this comment. Soccer does not have to be the afterthought anymore. Put soccer in the forefront. Start making these types of decisions that give soccer. Oh, that's a shot that goes just wide. I don't know if that was Owen Stone or not, but the turn on that one was great. But, you know, and again, does that mean that 3 weeks from now, if these two teams saw each other, it would be a different outcome? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you're a soccer fan, you don't want to see a number 1 team in the state taking a number 3 team in the state in the second round of districts.
Yeah, the whole seeding purpose was to try to break this up, but let's remind you, at the cutoff date, Troy High had 4 wins. They had 4. In a major rebuilding year, they had 4 wins. You had Berkeley, Troy Athens, and Royal Oak all having very good seasons, all spent a lot of time in that top 15 in the same side of the bracket. It just clearly doesn't make sense. The MHSAA won't change in the fact of the way they draw up districts in soccer and baseball, basketball, softball, the sports that have a 1-game elimination. They just look at a map, they try to break it off. But there are ways to kind of break up these power districts in a lot of sports. And until that happens, until they find a way to do this, when they look at the stuff, they look at what schools have instead of just drawing on a map, because it never changes. There's so many power pockets in certain sports, where until you switch that format up a little bit, we're never going to avoid this. This is never going to change.
No, it's not.
I have seen districts with 7 ranked teams in them, and then a district 10, 20 miles away has nothing.
Yeah.
It's just not the right way to do things, and it's never going to change. And we see this in other sports as well. It's never going to change until the MHSAA and the Coach Association of various sports come up with a better plan. They concede the first and second districts. That's helped a little bit, but overall, they're still drawing a map and just putting the same schools in the same districts year in, year out. I mean, I played in the 1980s, 30-something years ago. It hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't. And again, okay, so be it. These teams could see each other in a district final. If you looked at this district the way that it was shaped up, Berkeley got they got the raw end of the stick. They were the number 1 seed, and they had to go the hardest route to get to the final. Troy High, who was not the number 1 seed, they were the number 2 seed. They're the ones who found their way here, to the bottom half of this district, and they had an easier pathway than the team that was number 1. And that doesn't make any sense. That's a shot that goes in. Andrew Cook. A consolation goal for the Bears, and now it's 5-2.
Great goal, but a little bit too late for the Berkeley Bears. They are down 5-2 with $1:40 left in this matchup, and they're going to see another very good campaign fall short of even getting out of a district.
And back to our shoebox or soapbox or whatever you want to call it. The message, we've been saying this for decades, and I know that there's some logistical nightmares associated with this. That's fine. I get it. Find neutral sites. Find neutral sites that can host those games, that make it less travel for both teams, if that's the case. But the reality is that both of these teams should not be playing each other this early in playoffs, and it should be a situation where both teams have a fighting chance later in the rounds to see each other, and that would make it more balanced. But either way, 40 seconds to go here in this one. Athens has punched their ticket into the district final here on Thursday against Troy High, their crosstown rival, who they beat 3-1 here earlier this season. They did that at Troy High, so revenge on the mind of the Colts. Athens looking to move forward and pass regionals for the first time in 3 years. Pass districts for the first time in 3 years.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final score at tonight's match.
So there it is.
The
Athens Redhawks come into Bear Country, and they
For tickets, please
send
go to gofan.co.
Berkeley Bears home for their season. And that's sending 10 seniors, retiring 10 seniors here as well. The Berkeley Bears had a phenomenal season, have done a great job under the helm of Steve Volosik. Tonight just was not enough, as the Redhawks are just red hot. And as Dan said, a F5 tornado rolling down the pathway towards their ultimate goal of hoisting a state championship trophy. Let's take a look at the scoring here in this one. Getting the scoring started in the second minute, number 9 in Miguel Ramirez, a senior. In the 5th minute, number 15, Nick Rossi with a streamer from 31 yards out. In the 33rd minute, a penalty shot converted there by number 2 and Mark Deliacap. A goal coming in the 55th to give him 4-0 lead. Number 23 and Daniel Cadu, that one was from 40 yards out against Seth Davidson. And then a goal in the 62nd off a corner kick, number 19 and Dennis Hayes getting a goal. And then goal number 5 coming in the 73rd minute, as that was Brody Feinstock. And then the final goal of this game, number 9 in Andrew Cook finding a consolation, making this game 5-2 your final score. Dan, any thoughts here before we send it out of here?
Yeah, Troy Athens did what they had to do. They came out on fire, scored those 2 early goals. They set the pace of this game. They frustrated Berkeley. Berkeley did not have even a shot attempt until 10 minutes into the second half. They're up 4-0 at one point. As we talked about at halftime and in the pregame, Troy Athens is playing as good as any team in the state, all 4 divisions combined, as we roll through the first week of the state tournament.
That they are. I want to thank our production crew here tonight, and Ryan Gagnon up on camera, Sam Fisher, our technical producer, Dan Stickrat, my broadcast partner extraordinaire. My name's Jonathan Turner. Thank you for stopping by here tonight and watching this on the NFHS Network, as well as listening in on our audio-only stream on our YouTube channel. The highlights from this game will be available here tomorrow on our YouTube channel, along with game number 1 between Troy High and Ferndale. Again, these 2 teams, Ferndale obviously lost here tonight, but Troy High and Troy Athens will see each other here on Thursday in a district final matchup. Will determine who will go on to play in the regional semifinal here next Tuesday at Troy High School. For one final time, Troy Athens Redhawks 5 and the Berkeley Bears 2. Remember, dream big, and we'll see you next time on the Michigan Soccer Network.